Plastic smiles. I'd heard about the abandoned Edgewater Mall for years. Every town has that one place whispered about after dark. Ours was this mall, gutted and forgotten since the early 2000s. Vandals, explorers, ghost hunters, all warned about the mannequins inside, how they moved, how their blank eyes seemed to follow you. Naturally, I had to see it for myself. I slipped in through a busted loading dock door just before dusk. The air inside smelled like mildew and forgotten perfume samples. Storefronts gaped open like toothless mouths. Signs faded and cracked. Glass crunched underfoot. My flashlight flickered as I swept the beam across the empty corridors. Then I saw them. Mannequins. A dozen at least, scattered across the atrium. Some standing upright in disjointed poses, others slumped or propped unnaturally against pillars. Most were missing limbs. A few had painted on smiles that had long since faded into warped, grimacing expressions. I took photos, narrating into my phone. Edgewater Mall, main atrium. No signs of movement, but the mannequins are posed, like someone arranged them. As I turned toward an escalator leading to the second floor, I stopped cold. A mannequin that had been lying down moments ago was now standing near the fountain, facing me. I frowned. Had I missed it before? I aimed my flashlight at it and took a step closer. A hand grabbed my shoulder. I spun around, heart launching into my throat. A man stood there, grimy, thin, his beard tangled like roots. His eyes were wild, unfocused. "What the hell are you doing here?" he growled. I thought it was abandoned," I stammered, stepping back. "I didn't mean—" "This is my home." I started backing toward the escalator, trying to keep my voice calm. "Okay, I'm leaving." But when I turned toward the loading dock again, I froze. The door was gone. I mean, it was there, but now welded shut with rusted chains. My mouth dried. "I told you, you came into my home," the man said. "You don't get to leave." He lunged. I bolted up the escalator, skipping steps 2 at a time. He shouted behind me, his heavy boots pounding after me. I reached the second floor and ran into a hallway flanked by clothing stores. More mannequins waited here, all facing the corridor. One had its arm outstretched toward me. I ducked into a former department store and slipped behind a counter. My breathing was loud, too loud. I tried to slow it down. I heard him enter the store, his footsteps slower now. "You shouldn't have come here," he called. "You made them curious." I held my breath. "They don't like curious people." His voice was getting closer. I gripped a rusty metal rod I found on the floor and peeked out. He was standing near the perfume counter, scanning the aisles. I waited until he turned, then sprinted past the handbags and out a side door. Back in the main corridor, the mannequins had moved again. 3 were now standing in a perfect line across the hallway. One's head was cocked at a sharp angle, like it was listening. I squeezed between them, trying not to touch. Downstairs. I had to get downstairs. I ran back to the escalator, still working miraculously, and started down. But halfway, I heard him again, running, fast, from above. I turned and saw him flying down the escalator behind me, his face twisted in fury. "No!" I screamed, swinging the rod behind me. It clipped his leg and he stumbled, but not enough. At the bottom, I turned and braced myself. He jumped the last few steps and crashed into me. We hit the tile hard.
I swung the rod again. It connected with his shoulder, but he snarled and punched me in the gut. We rolled, fighting, grunting. Finally, I landed a solid hit to his head. He staggered. I kicked him hard in the chest, and he fell back onto the escalator again. This time, it carried him down into darkness. He tried to scramble up, but lost his footing and tumbled. He screamed all the way down. Then came the tapping. Rapid, unnatural tapping, like high heels, but faster, too fast, too many feet. I leaned over the escalator rail, peering into the shadows below. Shapes moved, dozens of them. Then a final scream and silence. No thud, no body, just blackness and the sound of something dragging. I didn't wait. I ran past the mannequins, now posed like a grieving audience. One kneeled with its head in its plastic hands. Another seemed to be reaching after me. The front doors were still chained, but I found a security room. Inside, I spotted a sledgehammer. It took 10 minutes and every ounce of strength I had, but I got the door open. I ran into the parking lot, sobbing, bloody, bruised. I called the police. When they arrived, they searched every inch. No man, no blood trail, just one thing. Near the bottom of the escalator, they found one mannequin, male, bloody, dressed in the same clothes the man wore. A smile painted on his face, fresh. The cops chalked it up to shock and a squatter scare, told me I'd seen things, but they didn't see the footage I had. Brief, grainy glimpses of mannequins standing where they hadn't before. The man's face as he screamed, "I never moved them!" I still hear tapping in my sleep, and sometimes I see mannequins in places they shouldn't be, watching, waiting, smiling.